Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about something that separates successful people from those who never reach their full potential. It's not talent, luck, or even intelligence. It's effort. The willingness to try, to step out in faith, and to go after what you want no matter the obstacles. As Steve Harvey says, there is no excuse for not trying. Think about it. How many times have we stopped ourselves before we even started? How often do we let fear, doubt, or circumstances become the reasons we don't chase our dreams? The truth is, those are just excuses. The real difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't that successful people had it easy, it's that they kept trying, even when it was hard. Steve Harvey himself is a perfect example of this. Before he became a famous comedian, TV host, and entrepreneur, he struggled. He was homeless, sleeping in his car for 3 years, and facing rejection after rejection. But he never stopped trying. He believed in his dream, and because he kept pushing forward, he eventually made it. His success wasn't given to him. So what's stopping you? Is it fear of failure? Remember, failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. Every mistake teaches you something. Every setback builds your character. Maybe you think you don't have enough resources, but history has proven time and time again that some of the most successful people started with nothing. What they did have was determination. They didn't wait for the perfect moment. They started where they were with what they had. Today, I challenge you to remove the excuses. Whatever dream you have, whether it's starting a business, writing a book, getting healthier, or learning a new skill, just start. You don't have to be great to begin, but you do have to begin to be great. As Steve Harvey says, your gift will make room for you, but you have to take that first step. You have to be willing to try. Let me tell you something. Effort is what separates those who succeed from those who never even get close. There's this misconception that success is a matter of being born with the right talent, or maybe being at the right place at the right time. But I'm here to tell you, talent isn't enough. Luck is even less reliable. The only thing that consistently gets you closer to your dreams is effort. You've got to put in the work no matter what. Now, I know you probably heard the phrase, work smarter, not harder, and while there's some truth to it, let me break it down for you. You can work smart all day long, but if you're not putting in the effort, nothing is going to happen. You've got to show up. You've got to get in the game. If you want to reach your goals, you can't be sitting on the sidelines waiting for something to happen for you. You've got to go after it with everything you got. Take a look at people like Steve Jobs, Oprah, or even the person you admire in your own life. They didn't just wake up one morning with everything handed to them. No, they spent countless hours working, grinding, failing, and getting back up again. They didn't sit around saying, well, I guess I don't have the right connections. No, they didn't let a lack of resources hold them back. They just kept trying, and that's the key, try them every day, every hour. Even when it gets tough, they kept going. Listen, we all have challenges, right? We all have struggles that we're going to face. There's no getting around that. Life will throw you curveballs. It'll throw you some straight up punches. But if you're not willing to put in the effort, you might as well be waiting for a miracle. That's not how this works. Success doesn't come from sitting back and hoping for a break. It comes from relentless effort. It comes from staying focused on your goal, even when you're facing adversity. You think Steve Harvey didn't struggle? You think he just rolled out of bed and everything fell into place? Nah, he was homeless for 3 years. 3 years. He slept in his car, had no money, and couldn't even get a job to save his life. But what did he do? He got up every day, put in the work, and kept going. He had to work harder than most people would ever be willing to. He didn't give up just because things weren't easy. He didn't quit when things looked bleak. So when people tell me, Steve, I don't have the time, or Steve, I don't have the money, I look at them and say, you don't need either of those things. You need effort. You need to believe in your dream enough to fight for it. You've got to show up every single day. You've got to be willing to do the work, even when it doesn't feel good. You know what most people do? They make excuses. They tell themselves they don't have the resources, the skills, or the connections. But I'm telling you, those are just excuses. I didn't have anything when I started. I didn't have any special advantages. But what I did have was a desire to succeed and the will to keep going when the going got tough. And that's something you can control. That's something you have in your power right now. Here's what you need to understand. If you're not willing to put in the effort, then you're not serious about your goals. Don't sit there wishing for success and expecting it to fall into your lap. Don't waste your time waiting for the perfect moment to start. The perfect moment doesn't exist. You've got to make the moment perfect by showing up and putting in the work. You've got to do the things others aren't willing to do. The thing about effort is that it compounds. Every hour you spend working toward your goal, every extra step you take, it adds up. You might not see the results right away, but trust me, it's building. It's shaping your future, brick by brick. Every day you show up, you're moving closer to the success you've been dreaming about. It might feel like you're not getting anywhere, but I promise you, you are. So stop waiting for the stars to align. Stop waiting for someone to give you permission. Stop making excuses. Get out there, give your best, and keep going. Because in the end, the effort you put in today will be the reason you're standing in the spotlight tomorrow. You want to be successful? There's no excuse. Show up, put in the effort, and make it happen. Let me tell you something that you need to hear right now. Fear and doubt are just excuses. Straight up. These are the things that hold most people back from reaching their full potential. And I'm telling you right now, they don't have to. Fear is something you create in your mind. It's not real. It's just a figment of your imagination that's holding you hostage, keeping you from stepping into the greatness that's inside of you. Doubt, that's just fear dressed up in a different outfit, trying to convince you that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy of success. But I'm here to tell you that it's all nonsense. It's all a bunch of excuses you've been feeding yourself. You want to know the truth? Everybody experiences fear. I don't care how successful someone is. I don't care if they're a billionaire or a world-famous entertainer. They all have moments where they feel fear. But here's the difference. They don't let it control them. They don't let fear stop them from moving forward. They acknowledge it, they face it, and then they walk through it. And if they can do it, so can you. Now, let me break this down for you. Fear is nothing but an emotion, a feeling that is 100% created in your mind. It's not an actual obstacle, but it sure feels like one. Think about the last time you were scared to do something. Maybe it was asking for a raise, starting a new job, or taking a leap of faith in your career. What was the worst that could happen? Maybe you failed. Maybe you stumbled a little. But I promise you, that's not the end of the world. The real failure is when you let fear stop you from even trying. The real loss is when you allow that voice in your head to keep you paralyzed in place. I'm going to tell you something that might blow your mind. The best things in life are on the other side of fear. Think about it. Every single success story you've ever heard, every person who's made it to the top of their game has walked right through their fear to get there. Steve Harvey, Oprah Winfrey, Will Smith. These folks didn't get where they are by playing it safe. They stepped up to their fear, told it to sit down, and did it anyway. And guess what? Every time you choose to act in spite of your fear, you get stronger. You start building a muscle that says, I don't care what I'm feeling, I'm going to keep moving forward. That muscle, that mindset is what separates the people who dream big from those who actually make those dreams a reality. But I got to be honest with you, doubt is just as dangerous as fear. Doubt will have you questioning your own abilities, your own worthiness. It'll make you think, who am I to do this? And I don't have what it takes. Let me remind you of something. You have everything you need right now to succeed. Don't let doubt trick you into thinking otherwise. I know how it feels to doubt yourself. Believe me, I've been there. When I was trying to make it as a comedian, I doubted every move I made. I was homeless, trying to figure out where my next meal was coming from, and I had no idea if my big break would ever come. But the one thing I did have was faith in my gift. I knew that, and guess what? It did. But I had to fight through my doubts every single day to get there. You've got to do the same thing. Doubt is just an obstacle in your mind trying to convince you that you're not good enough, that you'll fail. But what if you let go of the doubt and just acted anyway? What if you believed in yourself just as much as I believe in you? What would happen if you stopped giving in to fear and doubt and just tried? I'll tell you what would happen. You would fail, and then you would get back up, and then you would try again, and you start learning, you start growing, and eventually you would succeed. Because success isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's about showing up even when you feel that fear. It's about taking action even when doubt tells you to sit back. Here's the thing about fear and doubt. They're just stories we tell ourselves. They're not the truth. The truth is that you're capable. The truth is that you can do whatever you set your mind to, but you got to stop listening to that voice in your head that's telling you can't. You got to silence that doubt and tell yourself that you will succeed. You will take that leap. You will take that chance. And when you do, you'll be amazed at what you're capable of achieving. So let me say it again. Fear and doubt are just excuses. Don't let them hold you back. Don't let them stop you from trying. Take action, step through that fear, and push through the doubt, and watch how your life begins to change. Let me tell you something right now. Failure is not the opposite of success. I know that sounds crazy, but stick with me. Failure is actually part of the process. It's a stepping stone, not a dead end. I've had my fair share of failures, and let me tell you, I wouldn't change a thing. Every time I fail, I learn something. Every time I stumble, I pick myself up stronger, smarter, and more determined than before. Failure doesn't define you, it refines you. You see, too many people are afraid of failure. They let it hold them back, keep them from even trying because they think if they fail, it's over. They think failure is the end of the road, that it means they're not good enough, not talented enough, not worthy of success. But I'm here to tell you the real truth. Failure is just feedback. It's the universe telling you, hey, that approach didn't work, but you're still on the right path. You can't be afraid of it. You've got to embrace it, learn from it, and keep pushing forward. Look, I'm not here to sugarcoat things. The road to success is hard. It's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be smooth. It's going to be bumpy with plenty of twists and turns. And let me tell you something. If you think you're going to avoid failure, you're mistaken. It's coming, and when it does, you've got two choices. You can let it take you down, or you can rise up and use it to fuel your fire. Think about some of the most successful people in the world. Steve Jobs, Oprah, Michael Jordan, Thomas Edison, all of them had one thing in common. They failed, and they failed a lot. But they didn't let it stop them. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Steve Jobs was fired from the company he started. Oprah was told she was unfit for TV early in her career. But what did they do? They didn't give up. They didn't let failure define them. They used it as motivation. They got back up, brushed themselves off, and tried again and again. And now, you might be sitting there thinking, Steve, that sounds great, but what if I fail and it's too much? What if I just can't take it? Well, I'm here to tell you, you can take it. You have it in you. Every failure you face is an opportunity to grow, to become better, and to get closer to your dream. It's like building muscle. You don't get stronger without putting in the work, and you don't grow without facing some setback. And let me make something clear. You do not have to be perfect. Perfection is a trap that keeps people stuck. It keeps them from moving forward because they're so worried about getting everything just right. But guess what? There's no such thing as perfect. If you wait around for perfect conditions, you'll be waiting forever. Life doesn't work like that. It's messy, it's unpredictable, but it's also beautiful if you're willing to embrace it. So whatever gives up, that's what moves me, actually came from. And the idea of perfection, it came from using mindset. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is right now. The key to success is to keep going even when you fail. You've got to push through. The people who make it are the ones who refuse to quit, who refuse to be defined by their failures. And I'm not saying you won't have hard days. I'm not saying you won't get knocked down a few times. What I am saying is that if you get back up, you'll get stronger each time. Each failure will teach you something you didn't know before. It'll prepare you for the next step, the next level of success. Here's the thing. I don't care if you fail 100 times. I care that you get back up 101 times. That's the only thing that matters. You're going to fail, and that's okay. I don't care if you fail on the first try, the 10th try, or the 100th. What matters is that you don't quit. You don't let failure define who you are. You let it teach you, grow you, and push you closer. Now, I know it's hard to keep going when things aren't going your way. I've been there. But I want you to think about something. What would you rather do? Fail and try again, or never try and live with regret? Because the real failure is not trying. The real failure is not going after your dreams. because you're too afraid of what might happen. You have no idea what you're capable of until you push past the fear of failure. So don't be afraid of failing. Fail big, fail often, but always fail forward. Learn from it, get up, keep moving, because every time you do, you're one step closer to the success you've been dreaming of. Don't let failure stop you. Let it propel you. You've got greatness inside you, and the world is waiting for you to show up and show out. Keep going, keep trying, keep failing, and I promise you, success will come. Let me hit you with some real talk right now. Resources are not the biggest obstacle in your way. I know you're sitting there thinking, Steve, I don't have the money, the connections, the skills, but I'm here to tell you, those things, they are not the reason you're not moving forward. Your success doesn't depend on how much money you have in your bank account or who you know. Your success depends on one thing, and that's you. It's your drive, your hunger, your willingness to do whatever it takes to get where you want to be. Let me break it down for you. When I started out, I didn't have any of the things that people say you need to succeed. I didn't have money. I didn't have connections. Hell, I didn't even have a place to sleep at night. I was living in my car, broke as a joke. But you know what I did have? A vision. I had a dream. I had a belief in myself that was stronger than my circumstances. And I didn't let the fact that I had nothing stop me from going after what I wanted. Here's what I want you to understand. You don't need everything to get started. You don't need all the resources in the world to make a move. The truth is, most of the successful people you know didn't have it all together when they started. They didn't have the perfect setup, the ideal conditions, or a pile of cash to back them up. They started with what they had, right where they were. And that's what you need to do. Look at people like Oprah Winfrey. She didn't come from wealth. She grew up in poverty, faced a lot of challenges, and was even told she wasn't fit for TV. But did that stop her? No. She didn't let her circumstances define her. She didn't say, well, I don't have enough money to make it, or I don't know the right people. She got up, worked hard, and made something happen. She created her own opportunity, and you can do the same. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying that it won't be a challenge, because it will be. But what I'm telling you is that you don't need everything to get started. All you need is the willingness to show up, put in the work, and keep going, even when things get tough. You need the mindset that says, I don't care how much I have or don't have. I'm going to do what I can with what I've got. This isn't about waiting for the stars to align. You're never going to be in the perfect situation. That's a myth. The people who succeed are the ones who say, I'm going to make this work no matter what. They figure it out as they go. They start with what they have, and then they learn and grow along the way. Take a look at someone like Elon Musk. The guy didn't have everything handed to him. He started with nothing but an idea, and a big one at that. He had to fight through setbacks, failures, and struggles to get where he is today. But he never let a lack of resources stop him. He used what he had, he got creative, and he built something that changed the world. And don't forget about people like Tyler Perry, who was homeless for a time, living in his car. He didn't have a studio, he didn't have millions of dollars, and he didn't have a team behind him when he started. He started with a dream, a pen, and a paper. And now he's one of the most successful producers in Hollywood. He didn't let the lack of resources hold him back. He used his determination to make something happen. The point is, you don't need everything. You just need to be willing to start. You need to be willing to put in the work, to figure it out as you go. The resources will come, but they only come when you take the first step. You don't wait around for the right time. You create the right time by taking action. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Faith without works is dead. You can't just sit around waiting for things to fall into place. You've got to get up, show up, and do the work. You've got to use what you have right now and make the most of it. No excuses. No waiting for the perfect moment. Because here's the truth. The perfect moment doesn't exist. The moment you've been waiting for is right now. If you've been sitting around waiting for more resources, waiting for the right connections, or waiting for the perfect opportunity, I'm here to tell you, stop. The opportunity is here. You have everything you need to start right now. It's time to stop waiting and start doing. You've got what it takes, and the only thing standing between you and success is the decision to act, no matter what you have or don't have. So stop using the lack of resources as an excuse. Take what you've got and go make something happen. Because when you do, that's when the doors will start opening. That's when the resources will start showing up. But first, you've got to move. The rest will follow. Let me tell you something, and I want you to hear me loud and clear. Your gift will make room for you. I don't care who you are, where you come from, or how many people doubt you. Your gift is powerful, and if you're willing to tap into it, it will open doors you never thought possible. We all have a unique gift inside us, something that sets us apart, something that the world needs. But the problem is most people either don't recognize their gift or they're too afraid to use it. They think they're not ready or that it's not enough. But I'm here to tell you, you are enough. And that gift you've been given, it's your ticket to everything you've ever wanted in life. Let me tell you, I didn't get where I am today because I was the most talented guy in the room. I didn't get here because I had more money, more resources, or more connections than anyone else. I got here because I finally realized that I had something special inside me. I had a gift, and I wasn't going to let fear or doubt stop me from using it. And I'll tell you this, when I started using my gift, doors started opening. I didn't have to chase after opportunities. They started coming to me. That's the power of your gift. It makes room for you. Now, you might be thinking, but Steve, what if I don't know what my gift is? Let me tell you something. Your gift isn't always something you're born knowing. It's not always something you realize overnight. Sometimes your gift is something you discover along the way. It's that thing you do that feels natural to you. That thing you could do for hours without ever getting tired of it. It's that thing that others notice about you. That thing they come to you for advice on. You might be good at it, but you don't see it as something special because it comes so easy to you. But I'm here to tell you, whatever that thing is, that's your gift, and it will make room for you. Don't get it twisted. Your gift is not just about what you're good at. It's about what's inside you. It's about your passion, your drive, and your willingness to use that gift to serve others. The moment you start using your gift for something bigger than yourself, that's when the universe opens up to you. That's when things start shifting in your favor. Your gift is a tool that can change the world, but only if you're brave enough to use it. But here's the thing. Your gift doesn't make room for you just by sitting there. You've got to work it. You've got to put in the time. You've got to practice. You've got to show up even when it gets hard. You've got to keep believing in your gift even when the world tells you to quit. Because the thing is, your gift is always going to face resistance. There will be people who try to talk you out of it. There will be times when you feel like it's not working. But here's the secret. Your gift will never fail you if you keep working it. It will make room for you. I want you to think about the people you look up to, people like Beyonce, Oprah, and Tyler Perry. What sets them apart? It's not that they're some kind of special breed of human. They're just like you and me. What makes them different is that they found their gift and they put in the work to use it. They didn't sit around waiting for someone to tell them they were good enough. They didn't wait for permission to go after their dreams. They stepped out and used their gift, and the world responded. That's what's waiting for you. You've got to understand that when you use your gift, the world starts to recognize it. Opportunities come to you. Doors that were once closed will swing wide open. But it's up to you to take that first step. You've got to stop doubting your gift and start trusting in it. Use it boldly. Step into your greatness. Let that gift take you places you never dreamed possible. When you show up with your gift, the universe has no choice but to make room for you. And let me tell you something else. Don't wait for someone to give you permission. You don't need anyone's approval to use your gift. God gave it to you, and that's all the permission you need. Don't wait for the perfect time or the perfect opportunity. Don't wait for the right moment to strike. The time is now. Your gift is calling you. You've got to answer it. If you've been holding back, if you've been letting fear or doubt keep you from stepping into your greatness, I want you to hear me. It's time to stop playing small. Your gift is bigger than your fear. Your gift is bigger than your doubts. Your gift is everything you need to achieve the life you want. And if you're willing to use it, the world will make room for you. So I'm going to leave you with this. Don't wait another day to start using your gift. Don't wait for the perfect moment, the right opportunity, or the ideal circumstances. Your gift is enough. It will make room for you, but only if you take that first step and trust in it, believe in yourself. Step out boldly and watch the doors of opportunity open wide. Your gift is calling you to greatness, and it's time to answer. Let me tell you something straight up. The real secret to success is consistency. Now, I know we all want things to happen overnight. We all want to hit that big break, to wake up one morning and have our dreams already realized. But let me be clear. Success doesn't come like that. It doesn't happen just because you have a moment of inspiration or because you put in a little bit of work. It comes through doing the little things every single day. It comes through staying the course even when the road is tough and it feels like nothing is working. You want to succeed, you've got to stay consistent. Now, I'm going to be real with you. Nothing, and I mean nothing, worth having comes easy. If you think you're going to start something and just coast your way to the top, you're fooling yourself. There are going to be days when it feels like the universe is working against you. You'll hit walls, face rejection, feel like you're putting in all this effort for nothing. And I get it. I've been there. But let me tell you something that changed my life. If you stay consistent, the breakthrough will come. I'm not talking about a little bit of work here and there. I'm talking about showing up every day. I'm talking about the days when you don't feel like it, when you're tired, when you want to give up, but you still keep pushing forward. Consistency is about doing what needs to be done even when no one is watching. It's about building habits that lead to success even when you don't see immediate results. And let me tell you, the results will come, but they come because you stayed in the game. Let me tell you about a time when I was struggling. When I was trying to make it as a comedian, I was broke, living in my car and doing gigs for pennies. There were times when I felt like I wasn't getting anywhere, when I doubted whether I'd ever make it. But here's what kept me going. I kept showing up. I kept doing the work. I kept telling jokes. I kept perfecting my craft, even when no one was paying attention. It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't fast, but I stayed consistent. And eventually, that consistency paid off. You've got to have that same mindset. You've got to keep showing up even when it feels like nothing is happening. The difference between those who make it and those who don't is ability to keep going when things get tough. Anybody can work hard when everything is going well. Anybody can put in the effort when it's easy, but true success comes when you push through the tough times. That's when you build the strength, the resilience, and the discipline that will carry you to the top. But here's the thing, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to do everything right every single time. You just need to stay consistent. Every time you fail, you get back up and try again. Every time you face a setback, you take what you learn and keep moving forward. It's not about being flawless. It's about being relentless. It's about showing up day after day, no matter what. Think about some of the most successful people in the world, people like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Jeff Bezos, and Oprah. These are people who didn't get to where they are by taking shortcuts or waiting for things to be perfect. They got there by putting in the work day after day. They stayed consistent. They did what needed to be done even when they didn't feel like it. And that's what made all the difference. Now, I know you're probably wondering, but Steve, what happens when it feels like I'm not getting anywhere? What happens when I put in all this effort and it feels like nothing is happening? I get it. I've been there. But I'm here to tell you that what you're doing now is building your future. Every small action you take, every day you show up, every time you keep moving forward, you are laying the foundation for something great. Success doesn't happen in a day. It doesn't happen in a month. It happens over time with consistent effort. Here's a little secret. Most people give up right before they're about to break through. Most people quit just when they're one step away from their big moment. But if you can stay consistent, if you can keep going when everyone else is ready to throw in the towel, that's when the breakthrough happens. That's when the world starts to recognize your effort. The key to success is simple. Keep showing up, even on the hard days, even when you don't see results, even when it feels like the world is against you. Keep doing the work, keep moving forward, keep learning. And eventually, success will come. It may not come when you want it, but it will come. And when it does, it'll be because you staying consistent. Mm-hmm. So stop looking for shortcuts. Stop waiting for things to be easy. The key to success is consistency. And I promise you, if you stay consistent, you will achieve everything you've been dreaming of. The breakthrough is on the way. Just keep showing up.